Right, let's go and find myself a boat. We're at a place called Morstan Quay. It's a National Trust place, which is about half an hour from where I live, so it's within reason. And as you can see, there's loads of boats here. I don't know which one, but one of the minor problems here is, in fact, it's very tidal. As you can see, it's a mud creek that leads out to the sea. But the benefits of this harbour is the fact it's actually a free one. It's one of the few free harbours in the UK, apparently, and it's run by the Blakeney Harbour Association. And there's loads of information here and everything about tides and what you can do and what you can't do. But I think the biggest problem is that, in fact, it is a mud creek. Well, let's have a walk around and we'll see what we can find, shall we? Here we are back at the notice board, and I see they've got a map. So let's just show you on the map whereabouts we are. That is Morstan Creek, and as you can see, it's down here where we've just walked from, and the stream goes out here until you get into this area here, and apparently this is where you can get your swing mooring from, which doesn't look too bad, but again, there's not much water in it. And then to get out to sea, obviously you can go out through the channel past the seals and out and the world's your oyster, as they say. Well, we're down by the slipway now. As you can see, obviously this is where they launch all the boats. So I think if I was to buy a boat that I could trail and launch off a trailer, this would be an ideal spot. But unfortunately, as you can see, at low water, there's no way you could launch. There are a few people that leave boats here, so possibly we could look at getting a boat that we could leave here for a little while. Anyway, let's carry on looking, see what else we can find. Well, we've walked up a bit further up the creek now, and as you can see, people do actually leave the boats here tied up against a type of mooring. But again, the water goes right down, so you would only have access to your boat, I would think, maybe 2-3 hours before and 2 or 3 hours after high water, which does limit it a bit. So I'm beginning to go off the idea of having a boat here at Morstan because of the time involved. Oh, there's an egret down there. I don't know if you can see it in the picture. Just down by the third boat, there's an egret in the water. So loads of wildlife, so it's quite interesting. Anyway, we'll have a further walk along. We'll carry on looking. You never know, we might see something. Well, we're standing on the flood bank, which I believe is part of the Norfolk coastal footpath, which runs all the way from Cromer all the way round to Hunstanton. We're looking out over Morstan Creek here. I've just been speaking to one of the locals, and he said that you can actually acquire a swing mooring, which is out in the area they refer to as the pit, which does stay and have more water in it. So, but it does still dry out at low water, so you will still only have access at low water, at high water I mean, of course. So if you did have a boat in the pit, then obviously you would need a dinghy or something to get out to it, which again is hassle and hassle. I'm beginning to go off the idea of having a boat at Morstan, but we'll carry on looking and let you know what we find. Right, here we are in the harbour area, and this is the type of boat I was thinking about, something that's got a little cabin on, so at least you can stay overnight if you wanted to, if you came down, had a little cooker in it. I suppose it's 20-22 foot, something with an outboard engine in. So obviously people do keep this size of boat here at Morstan. So that's quite nice, isn't it? As you can see, it's got an outboard and got a cabin and everything. Sail. Yeah, something like that, I think, don't you? Right, let's go and see what else they've got around here. You never know, I might find something with a for sale sign on it. Well, I've just come across this one here in the yard, which is a lot smaller. What the tractor's doing is, I think that he's bringing all the boats out and they're going into dry storage for the winter, I would think. So obviously that tends me to think that it's possibly not safe to keep a boat in the winter out in the pit area, even though it is sheltered from the sea. I suppose it still gets quite dangerous. That's a little bit smaller than the one we looked at earlier, which is over there, but still interesting. Something like that. It's got a little cabin so you can store stuff in, so you don't have to bring everything with you every time you come. Let's carry on looking. All right, well, here's number 3. Now that is what I would call the ideal size. I think it's about 22, 24 feet long. Needs a bit of work doing. It's a bit of a doer-upper, but we don't mind that. It's bilge keel, so it looks quite good, doesn't it? I wonder if this one's up for sale, because this one would be ideal, wouldn't it? You could keep it here, and yeah, not bad at all, I don't think. Needs a bit of work on the rubbing strips down the side. Hole could do with a bit of work doing on it, but it's not too bad, is it? Let's have a look at what's it like at the back. Oh, it's got a place for the outboard. Very, very rusty. I don't think it's been in the water recently, has it? Look at the rust on it. But well, I don't know. It's something to play with, isn't it? Very interested. Right. Well, we'll carry on. Just have a look at a couple more, and then I think we'll wind up on this trip, shall we? Oh, here's a nice collection of types of boats. So there's something there with just a sailing boat on its own. There's one with a little cabin on the top, which is ideal. There's a motorboat there. I think I would prefer something that I could sail than a motorboat. Or you've got something like that with no cabin. In conclusion, I definitely think we definitely need something with a cabin on, because that way when you come down here you can have all your stuff in it, can't you? You've just got to bring your food, and yeah, it's got to be a cabin. The only decision I got to make is, do we get one and keep it here at Morstan Quays, or do we look at keeping a boat somewhere else? Don't know.